Hi everyone, it's Elo. I hope that you're doing well. In today's tier 3, or I guess this month's tier 3 video, which is for the month of January 2019, I decided to do something that is inspired by and working towards a request that I've received both from patrons and the general public. And I also wanted it to be, special for you all. I didn't want it to be just like a practice video. So, what I decided to do was to talk a bit about my setup and how I actually get to this point, and also discussing some of the issues that I run into with you, just sharing with you the little problems that I come across. And then also I'm going to transition into ear cleaning sounds. And I feel like based on the information I've received just from talking with each of you, most of you prefer real life sort of scenarios as opposed to role plays that are mimicking real life scenarios. And I can completely understand that, because you have to be able to suspend your disbelief to a point, to actually relax enough, I think, to feel the feelings associated with ASMR. And if you can't get to that place of relaxation and peace, because you just feel uncomfortable about the scenario, I can understand, why that wouldn't be ideal, or even conducive to ASMR. So I'm going to test these different instruments, I guess we'll call them, onto the little microphones of the Zoom, which I'm using to record right now. And I would love, if you want to hear your feedback and say like, oh, I really liked this one, I didn't like this one, I would like it if this, particular sound represented this, like this really sounds good for scraping earwax, or this really sounds good for simulating touching the different parts of the ear, things like that. I think it would be helpful just to get an outside perspective and hear from you. So this video might be a little more interactive, but you certainly don't have to participate in this back and forth. You can just relax and enjoy if you'd like. And I will be sure to create timestamps at least for the different sounds, so that if you're not enjoying one or you think it's too harsh or whatever, you can just click and skip to the next one pretty quickly. So let's get started. So to get to this point of filming can be pretty difficult, and I think that people often think, and I used to think, that how hard can it be? You just sort of point and shoot and get it over with. But as you all have seen over time, I've had to make a lot of adjustments to my setup, and equipment can be one of the biggest obstacles in creating quality ASMR content. Anyone can create ASMR, and I think my older stuff probably was more in the lo-fi ASMR category, just because it wasn't using a microphone that has, left and right capabilities like this one. And I was stuck in that computer room, which is fairly dark. There's not great lighting. I'm still working on improving that. So now that we're here, right now I am in my bedroom actually, and I'm facing a window, and the amount of space that I have to work with is really not much wider than my hands are right now, because directly to my left of this screen is a queen size or full size, I'm not sure, bed. And right here, if you can hear that, there's the door to the bathroom. And they're strange doors to the bathroom. They're like, I've never seen this inside anyone's house before. But they're like shutter doors. So they don't have locks, they just have knobs, and they push into like a dented metal plate that's affixed to the structure, the frame of the doorway. So you just shove really hard to open or close the door, and it's pretty loud. And obviously it's not very private because there's like a small crack between the shutters and then between the bottom of the door and the floor. Not enough even to really see into, but it's enough that, you know, you don't feel as private as if you had a full wooden door, which maybe that's an American luxury, I'm not really sure, but it's very strange. I've gotten used to it over time, and I think the reason why they did that is because this bedroom is not particularly large. It's not small either, don't get me wrong, but it's probably 12 feet maybe from left to right, and you walk in from back there. So the bed is straight ahead, and there are two windows kind of flanking the bed on the left and right side. But the headboard to the bed, the fabric part, is actually even wider, so that maybe 3 to 5 inches of each window is obstructed by the bed frame, to give you kind of an idea of it's a little tight in here. And then I have my camera right now set up on its tripod on one of the nightstands, which, since the bed is kind of tall, I have nightstands that are more skinny and tall than they are short and fat, like what I think of as a traditional nightstand. So I can only spread out the tripod legs so far before they're hanging off of the nightstand. And the problem with that is the taller you want your camera to be, the longer the legs have to be, so the base of the tripod becomes wider as you increase the height. So sometimes I really want the camera angle to be higher and tilted down a little bit more in certain scenarios, and I can't do that currently. I don't have any other table or attachment or replacement to put the tripod on other than this nightstand, so that limits what I'm able to do. And because I can't make the tripod any smaller than it is either, I can't sit down when I'm in this configuration, because if I do, then I can't get a good angle to put myself into frame without looking really weird. So I have to stand whenever I film by the window, which is fine by me. I don't mind standing at all. But for certain role plays, I really want to be sitting because I want to be able to type on a keyboard maybe, or just have better access, you know, when you're coming towards the camera and the microphone. Sometimes it's helpful to be in a seated position so you can steady your arms using your elbows to do some more of the intricate work that you're trying to do. So it can be really challenging dealing with the limitations of just even the surface that I can put my camera on. And sometimes I use like a lunchbox and some books to create a different height to the camera. which is silly, but I don't have any other options right now. And this is really the only room in the whole house. The house isn't very big. It's not small either, but it's like, I think around 1,200 square feet. So I don't know how to convert that, unfortunately. But I think most of you will either know or be able to convert it. So it's around 1,200 square feet, I think. And it's a pretty open floor plan, like almost like a shotgun style house. You can see the back door from the front door. So there's a straight shot through the house, which has like the family room followed by an eating area followed by the kitchen, which leads to the laundry room and outside. And then on the sort of right side of the house, to the right of all of that, are the bedrooms, but sort of separated. So there's one at the front, then a full bathroom, then the other bedroom, which is the computer room. And then you can't get to the bedroom that I'm in right now other than if you go on the left side through the kitchen. It's like separated from the other bedrooms, which is nice. If, you know, we were to have guests or something, they would kind of have their own area and we would still have ours. So I love the layout of the house from an everyday living perspective, but for filming ASMR, so many things matter. I can't film anywhere in like the kitchen or family room areas because the microphones pick up the air conditioning and heating units right outside. So that's an impossibility, not to mention that the dog is always here whenever I'm here. And he really complicates things because he's not crate trained or anything. He just, you know, this is his house too, so he has free reign to roam around. So I really have to be somewhere where I can, you know, shut the door so that he can't be just barging in, because he really loves to be wherever I am. I guarantee he's sitting right outside the door right now. I'm just waiting for me to finish. So he creates even more trouble, and this is really the best spot that I can be in. I tried to film in the front, like guest bedroom, a couple times, but there was a lot of street noise up there, and there's also a bed in that room, and it's even smaller than this room, so there's really no area for me to, you know, camp out. The window, the area between the window in that room and the bed is only like 3 feet, and it's the opposite configuration. So this is probably way too detailed, but the point is that this has become the only spot that the bedroom has become the only spot that I can really film without a whole lot of background noise in one shape or form. And even here I have to deal with the fact that there are dogs. There's not a huge amount of space between yards here. Ours is fenced in, but that doesn't do anything to prevent the noise of the neighborhood dogs and crows barking and calling. And these microphones that you use for ASMR pick up everything. Even my stomach grumbling can be an issue. Me swallowing can be an issue. And I have a lot of, I guess, paranoia or self-consciousness about those sounds, because I often see people comment on other ASMR artists' videos criticizing them for like, oh, you know, that's such a gross noise when you swallowed at 28 minutes and 9 seconds or whatever, and people saying that they don't like listening to ASMR if they hear like a stomach growl noise or just certain little things like mouth sounds that really bother them. And while I know that I'll never please everyone at once, and I accept that, I still try to eliminate those noises as best that I can to create as calm and relaxing of an experience as I can. It's just hard, and I wish that I could film overnight, but especially now that I'm working, I get up at 5 a.m. There's just no opportunity for me to be filming at 2 a.m. So those are some of the main issues. There's also the issue of wanting to position things well. So in this limited space, I also want to create the illusion of when I come closer to you, and if I'm looking on this side or on this side, I want it to seem like your ears are right on the sides of the camera. So when I come here and try to, can you hear this? I want my hand to sound like it's just next to your ear and make that match visually with the video. So that means that I have to get the microphone raised to near the lens of the camera, so that I'm not, putting my hands up here, down here, over here, while I am pretending to examine or help whoever the viewer is. So right now, for example, I have this microphone on top of a book that's about this thick, and then the Hobbit motion picture trilogy disc set that I own is very sturdy and maybe 9 inches tall, so I raise it on that as well, and then as you can see, the sounds seem more aligned with where your ears would actually be. And these are all elements of filming that you have to set up, test, and modify based on where and when you're filming. So in some of my videos, I film on the other side of this, on the other side of the room, and I put the camera and microphone and everything onto the dresser or chest of drawers, whatever you call it. And those are my more glowing videos, the ones that are more almost like in a yellowish light and cozy. And I really like creating that atmosphere, and making that sort of calming, almost womb-like sort of closeness. So I enjoy filming over there as well because it just feels very personal, and also I can wear my glasses without having an intense glare. As you can see, when I put glasses on here, immediately the window is in my lenses, and that wouldn't be a problem except for the fact that I actually really do need prescription corrective lenses for distance. So wearing my glasses while I'm filming is a huge advantage to me because in my peripheral vision, I can see the viewfinder and be able to be more accurate when I'm, touching someone's face, rubbing it under their eyes, anything like that. It becomes a lot easier if I can see what I'm doing somewhat out of the corner of my eye. But when I don't have my glasses on, the viewfinder is just blurry, like colors, like I don't exactly know how to explain it, but there's no way for me to really tell if I'm as accurate as I want to be being, especially from a distance like this. Even though it's only a few feet between me and the viewfinder, my eyesight for even that much distance just isn't adequate. So that's another issue that I tend to deal with, is that some people really like when I'm filming in front of the window because my eyes light up and my teeth light up and it just looks fresher, I think. And as much as I don't like to think that ASMR has anything to do with how the ASMR artist looks, and I've talked about that before in one of my tier videos, I think it was, I still think that if there is something that people want to look at, such as, you know, eyes that they're unfamiliar with, then they're gonna want to see that, if that makes sense. Like, why would you not want to see something that you like to look at if it's available? And I understand that, but again, sometimes it's not possible for me to film at the window due to noise or weather, and other times I want to film on the other side of the room so that I can wear my glasses and see what I'm doing. So I always feel badly and get this guilty feeling whenever I'm deciding where to film. And I try to make my decisions about my videos based on popular demand mostly. For example, one of my more recent videos that I put out, I can't remember which one it was, but I filmed here at the window and I used my lapel microphone, and everyone was like saying, wow, you know, this video looks great and the audio sounds great, the production quality is amazing. And they don't say that when I film in the low light on the other side of the room. So that tells me, okay, these are things people like, this is the vibe people like. However, I can't make ear-to-ear noises with a lapel microphone. So that complicates things. Should I film with two microphones and splice the audio? I've tried that, but it's difficult because this Zoom has a different sound to the background noise than the lapel microphone does. And my editing software is still pretty basic. I'm actually right now trying to save for maybe a used MacBook so that I can have iMovie and just a faster element to process my videos on, because my gaming PC is getting a little old. I built it myself back in like 2012, I think it was. So it's getting a little outdated and a little slow. Anyway, maybe once I have the MacBook, the editing might be different and I might be able to use audio from two different microphones and create a similar either silent or near silent white noise effect across the board. However, for right now, it's way too noticeable. So I also always have to make the difficult decision. Do I film with the Zoom or do I use the lapel mic? And as I mentioned, I think certain role plays or scenarios just don't allow you to use the lapel microphone because there's no ear to ear. And how can I do like an ear exam or an ear cleaning, something like that, ear test, without any ear to ear? It's doable, but I think it's just less immersive. So those are some of the behind the scenes type things, I guess, that go into just filming and the stress of creating a new video. And that can make it pretty hard sometimes, especially if I've had like a long, exhausting, or bad week or a day before, and then I'm supposed to film. It takes a lot to be like, okay, not only am I definitely dedicating at least an hour of my day to the actual filming part in front of the camera, I'm also spending an hour setting up and deciding, picking out props, testing sounds like I'm going to be doing today, and then usually around 2 hours for the editing process, and then the videos produce and upload overnight, so it takes a few hours for that as well. So a lot goes into making a single video, especially when you're somebody like me who tends to make them about 45 minutes or longer. And I do use certain tricks to try to speed up the editing process. So if I make an obvious mistake, or if I cough or sneeze, or my stomach growls, or my throat makes a noise or something, I will snap, which will create like a beam in the audio file that I can then visually see and know, okay, there was a mistake, I need to edit at these spots. However, I often tend to just watch through the whole thing and edit through the whole thing, because sometimes I don't know that a swallow or a noise was audible or even happened. Sometimes I forget, I'm not sitting here trying to consider those things in my day-to-day life, so it can be hard to remember to snap every time there's even a tiny noise. So that process just really takes a long time, and has also increased the amount of cuts that I have per video, which can be another thing that gives me a lot of anxiety, because I don't like having a lot of cuts. I feel like it can be really distracting, but sometimes I just have no choice, because things go wrong that are out of my control. I've also had a few videos where I've filmed and didn't realize until the editing process that there was something in my teeth, or my lipstick was messed up, or my hair was, sticking up like this the whole time. And in a couple of my videos, I've just had to leave those things because there's no way for me to know in the moment that it's happening. And I would rather look silly for a little while than constantly be like checking like some people do, to be, okay, is everything okay? Do I look alright? That distracts me way more and takes me out of the feeling way more than it would just to have an accident, like a piece of hair out of place. It might be annoying, but I think it's less annoying than constantly looking at myself. So, I'm trying to think if there's anything else, but I guess just my main point was just to share with you, and show you that this isn't easy by any means, and I'm not fantastic at it. I'm always trying to be better, and it just feels like every time I make a new mistake, I do learn from it, but it just seems like there's another one right around the corner. So like now I make it a habit to be positive that I check my teeth and my face very thoroughly, and my makeup too, before I film. Even so, sometimes I will still like brush my eye or something right before I film and make a makeup streak or screw something up, and I just don't even think about it. because it's different than what had happened the previous time. It's just so hard to predict those things. Not to mention all of the issues that I've had with just technology over time. It's been insane, but I'm glad to have made it to where I am right now. I am hopeful that I can continue to make adjustments that will give me more room to work with, to expand some of the things that I'm currently doing, based on just having space and the option. There are certain even videos that I want to create that I literally can't due to the restrictions that I've just mentioned. So if you guys have any ideas on any of those, I'm definitely willing to hear you out and learn what I might be able to do. But for now, I would be happy for us to start getting into some of these ear sounds. And again, if you hear anything you particularly like, dislike, or have an idea about, please feel free to shoot me a message or leave a comment if you want to. No pressure. My main hope is for you to relax. So let's get started. Okay, so the thing about this Zoom microphone is that it's really sensitive, and usually I keep this windscreen, which is actually for my Yeti, but I just couldn't afford to get anything else yet. This month actually I'm planning on finally buying the official Zoom covers, but I've been using this over the microphone heads to save from dogs barking, to save from when I exhale or breathe too loudly, creating a really jarring deep wind sound in the ears. So you can imagine when I'm this close to the microphones, how intense those sounds can be. However, when I have the windscreen on, I can't touch the microphone pieces, which would make you think I'm touching your ears, or the viewer. So, that being said, I'm going to have to be really careful since I don't have that windscreen on, and if there are edits during this phase of the video, it's most likely because I breathed too loudly. So I'm gonna try not to do that. I'm gonna try to keep my breathing very steady, though that can be hard when you're talking or concentrating. So the first thing that I'm going to use is this. It's actually a dental tool that I bought in a kit from CVS, which is a local drugstore, which, well, they're a chain, but there are some here. And I'm going to use the curved part to scrape in your ear, and we'll see how this sounds. So I'm just tracing the metal, which is kind of like a screen over the soft part of the microphone. And if I'm wearing these headphones properly, which I am, this is the right ear. But then, let's see, so if I were you though, that would be your left ear. So I should, I guess, be touching this microphone, but leaning to this side. I believe that this is what would give the impression that I'm doing work in your right ear. Or left, sorry. And I may be very wrong about that, but that's what I think at the moment. So let me see, right now what I'm touching is in my right ear, which if I was from your angle would be this side. I think I'm doing this right. So what do you think of this sound? I think it's kind of nice. I don't know what it sounds like exactly, but I do like it. Okay. The next thing that I'm going to use is this little microfiber cloth. It's quite tiny. It's definitely the smallest microfiber cloth I've ever owned. And I think that I got it with a phone or a phone screen to wipe off, but I never use it for that. So this I'm just gently sweeping along the outside rim of the microphones. I can't tell if I think that's like a harsh noise or not. And I just jumped out. Luckily it landed on my slipper. Okay. I wish that dog would stop barking. What's up? I was really hoping it would be very quiet today because it was supposed to be a snow day here. But we didn't end up getting any at all. So I kind of got a free day off work, I guess, but I'm gonna go in and take someone else's shift later in the week so that I can make up for what I lost today. Okay, so this is actually a ukulele pick. It's a felt pick, and it's a little frayed at the tip. So I'm going to so gently touch those fibers to the microphone, and I think it sounds like crinkly and crunchy and a good noise, but I want your opinion too if you're willing to give it. It's really hard to hold this still, to touch so lightly. Okay. Next is just a regular Q-tip. And again, you can kind of see that these, if this will focus, the edges of this Q-tip are kind of frayed. Come on now. Well, the fibers are sort of floating, and so again, I don't even need to press. It's just a really gentle kind of touch. But I think this one sounds different than the felt. This is on the rim, and this is on the ear. I think this could be a really good sound for cleaning. Literally, I'm not even touching the actual Q-tip. I'm not putting any pressure. It's like this far. There's space. It's just these tiny little fibers that are touching and making all the noise. I feel like it would actually really hurt the ear to press this in. The angles are definitely difficult. But I think something I could get better examination, and I just want to have the ear part, mean something, and not just be me pretending to lean back and forth and not actually examining or cleaning in the ears. Which is what I've done in all my past videos. I've never actually done what I'm doing right now and pretended to be cleaning or touching the inside of the ear and the outside. So that's pretty exciting. Another thing I wanted to do was try on 2 different kinds of gloves and gently touch the microphone with each side. So I might edit out putting these on because that part can get a little loud, but we'll see. Okay. These glove types feel very different, even just to put on. And here are their different sounds. Kind of crinkly, almost wet sounding. This one I would say is a little more rubbery sounding, if that makes sense. Together, they kind of make a good noise for pretending to lather someone's head with shampoo. But that's not the point. Okay, so I'm going to try to very gently tap with mainly just the glove. I'm not even going to really try to put my skin or my finger pressure onto the ear hole. So first we're going to try the blue one. Okay, and now the white one. I feel like there might be a way to make this sound nice for touching the outside of the ear, but I also feel a little unskilled with this right now, so I think it's something I'm going to work on before I subject you more to it. It might just be these headphones, but it's not particularly making a very pleasing or soothing sound to me, so we'll see. Okay, and lastly we have some different brushes. I practiced a little with this one, but it's very firm. So right before I came here to film, I grabbed these other ones. This one I got actually, it's kind of funny to think about this one because I got this and another one when I first started doing the whole ASMR thing for real, and really putting time into it, when I lived at my old apartment, like 2 years ago now. That's crazy to think about. And I got this and another brush, and I used them on I think it was just another practice video where I did some face brushing, because I used to really want to create a face brushing video, and I don't know why I've never ended up following through with that. I guess because the video where I did use these and practice some other noises wasn't super popular, but I'm not as discouraged now, so I think I might actually go for that and do a face brushing video. But this one's quite soft, which is why I chose it. And these ones, as you can tell, are wands from Harry Potter. They were made by a French, she might be French Canadian, but a vendor, and given to me as a gift. And they're all supposed to be their own, unique wand, which I think is really cool. I think I have one more too, but so I was just gonna see. I think these two are the softest. So I'm gonna try these first. So this is gonna be the small angled, I guess it's not really angled, small fluffy brush first. This is lightly touching on the rim. And this is lightly brushing on the mic. Tapping. And on the other ear, we're going to try the one that actually is kind of more angled. And we'll call this the floofy brush. Some things a little bit more difficult to make delicate, but it might just be because I'm using my left hand. So I'm going to try on the right hand, with my right hand now. I don't think that's too bad. I think I liked the first one a little bit better. But again, that might just be because I'm uncoordinated trying to do the other side. I also just wanted to hear how this sounds. This is actually the Wand 2 mascara, which is what you put on your eyelashes to make them darker and a bigger, thicker. And I always just had thought in my head that this would make a nice sound. I actually dried this one out and cleaned it when I was done with the mascara, and now I use it as an eyebrow comb, which is cheap and gets the job done. So I just wanted to hear how this would sound. I might have to cut this if it sounds terrible. We'll see. So this is just near the microphone, going like this. I'm not actually going to touch it. think that was actually everything that I had in mind to test right now. I have seen some people on YouTube who have these ear cleaning kits, and I'm going to do some research into those to see if those are better than just using the things that I found and invented, I guess. But for right now, those are the sounds that I have to work with, that I can think of, that are at my disposal. So again, if you have any opinions, feel free to share them with me. If not, I hope that you enjoyed this video and found it relaxing, and I look forward to creating a full ear, nose, and throat exam where I'm actually doing an ear cleaning. And I think that is all for now. So again, I just hope you enjoyed and sleep well or have a great day. Thank you guys so much for being here. I know that I do this a lot, but I just can't thank you enough for all of your support, and I can never explain just how much it means to me to have you guys. And my channel has been picking up a little bit more even lately, which has been really cool. I went from 5,000 subscribers, or I was just under 5,000 subscribers I think last week, and this week I'm almost at 6,000, which is insane. I've had a lot of new people coming and commenting and saying that they just found me, which is really cool. And I also, as I think I mentioned already, I was asked to be a part of a collaboration, which I think is going to be, it's supposed to be funny, which isn't really my strong suit, but I tried to be a little bit funny. And I'm really excited for that to debut whenever it does. I haven't heard anything more from the content creator who is hosting it, who asked me to be a part of it, but she did get my video and said that she really liked it, so I'm hoping that sometime within the next couple months, maybe, depending on her schedule, that will release and maybe expose my channel to more people, since she has a lot more followers than I do. And it would just be cool to add people to our little family here, get more feedback, just learn what I can do better. It's really the main reasons that I would like to have more people around, just to improve and to motivate myself to improve even more and be as dedicated and resilient as I can be when filming and just doing everything that it takes to create all this. So with that all out there, I think it's time for me to bid you adieu. But I will hopefully see you all in my next video, and just feel free to reach out to me at any point in time. Okay, bye for now.